As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones are turned off. Any final action taken on conditional use permit request will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, October 29th at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, November 20th at 9:15 in this same room. At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. The minutes from the September 24th meeting are included in the consent agenda. Are there any objections from the Planning Commission members to any item listed on the consent agenda? Okay, next I will read each item on the consent agenda. If anyone in the audience objects to the item, you can just raise your hand and we'll move the item to the regular agenda, and then you can address the commission later in the meeting. Okay, item number 1 is an approval of the minutes from September 24th. Item number 2 is deferred from the September 24th meeting, and it's a conditional use permit to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area, and there was 12,222 feet requested, and this is located 1.5 miles east of Midway Corner. Item number 3 is a conditional use permit to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area, and 2,500 square foot was requested. And this is located 1/2 mile south of Iverson Crossing intersection. You want that moved? Okay. Item number 4, conditional use permit to transfer 1 building eligibility. And this is 4 miles north of Humboldt.
She's the petitioner. She's the petitioner. She's the one.
Okay. All right. Number 5 is the conditional use permit to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area. This one is for 1,500 square feet, and this is located 1/4 mile north of Yogi Bear Campground. Item number 6 is a conditional use permit to allow a full-service convenience store, and this is located at the Baltic exit. And item number 7 is a conditional use permit to allow a one-station salon, and this is 5 miles west of Garrettson. Okay, so far I just noted the one, and that was item 3 that wanted to be moved. Is there any other one that anybody wanted moved that I missed? All right.
I'll move approval of consent agenda.
Okay, we have a, okay,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, if you had any of those items except for number 3, your item has been approved, and you are free to leave. Is there a motion to approve the regular agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, for the regular agenda, we will follow our normal hearing procedure by requesting planning staff to present a report, and then the petitioner will come to the podium and discuss the item, make a statement or answer questions. And then anyone from the audience wishing to address the item shall be recognized and move to the podium, introduce themselves, and the Planning Commission will then discuss the matter and take appropriate action. Thank you. All right, Pat.
That's fine. Item number 3 is conditional use permit number 12-53 to exceed 1,200 square feet of accessory building area, requesting 2,500 square feet. And as you can see on the map, this is located in the Red Rock or Ostranders subdivision. And the petitioner's property is outlined in the red. He has an accessory building already on this property, which is about 1,152 square feet, and he wants to double that size. And at the time of the application, we weren't quite sure what the exact measurements were going to be, and so that's why the request is the 2,500 square feet. This neighborhood has a number of different building sizes in it. The smallest is 528 square feet to the largest, which is over 3,000 square feet. So the petitioners does fall within the standard at which we review building sizes. We are requiring several conditions for approval of the building. that a total accessory building area not exceed 2,500 square feet, that the building be for personal storage and no commercial business be allowed. 3, that the building permit is required prior to the start of construction. 4, that the building inspector will come out and measure the building on the outside perimeter. And that 5, the planning department can enter and inspect the accessory building at any time as long as we give proper notice to the property owner. Okay, I guess you have in your packet. Do you have any photos in that? Oh, I thought we had this. You have in your packet the map of the accessory building areas. I'll just hold it up. You can see the petitioners, it's the 2,500 square feet on the corner at 48092. Directly kitty corner, you have a building that is 2520, which right there would be larger than what they are requesting. And the petitioner is here tonight to speak to this item. And then the people in the audience that asked that this be heard, I'll just show you. They live here to the south of the petitioners. And I think there was some concern. We did have, prior to this property owner, a woodworking business, I think, that started up there. And I think that's the concern in the neighborhood, that they don't have another commercial business start. So with that, I would take any questions, or else Mr. Carlson's here as the petitioner.
Okay, thank you. Is the petitioner here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Chip Carlson. I'm the owner of the property.
Okay.
And I guess I'm just asking to add it for personal use. You know, our company has thousands of square feet of building and a lot of acres up by the penitentiary, and it's not for any commercial use at all. I have cars and I store them in town, and I like to work on them at home, and that's the only reason for the addition.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Carlson? Thank you. Okay, anybody in the audience that wishes to speak to it?
My name is Jeff Kreibel. I do own the property at Red Rock, just south of Mr. Carlson. The concerns that I had was just more of just clarification on what this was to be used for, and that was more for the personal use, and also that the property would not be rezoned for commercial use. That was my concerns, and just wanted to hear that for the record.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, discussion or motion?
Move for approval.
Motion, a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, so that's been approved. And I think that's everything except for old business, no items. New business, Envision 2035.
Good evening, Commissioners. As most of you have known, that we did have our community open houses here a couple weeks ago. We had one in Brandon, in Hartford, in Dells, and over at Tri-Valley. We had some good turnouts, we felt like, except for in Dells, where the numbers weren't quite as high. But for the other ones, we ranged at 35 to 40 people that attended the meetings after we had given notice to everybody in the rural area. We did some different stations when we were there. I kind of described them before. We did one for land use, transportation, building eligibilities, parks and open space. And I did give you a little packet of information. The first page, front and back there, just the comments that were provided to us around at each table, and at the head table where you signed in at. People were able to get comment cards and then provide their feedback. So there's a number of different comments that they provided. The second page, they had, with beans, they had to put in jars what they wanted more of. So you can kind of look through there what they wanted, Tri-Valley, Hartford, Dells, Brandon. You can see some that are common, maybe where more people attended. Obviously, that's where more beans were placed, I guess. And then the third one here went over our egg station. Was the comments they were able to provide were through a survey that we had taken. The top page shows the total of each of them questions, and then it breaks it down into each location that we are at. And over here tonight, if you guys want to take a look at it, over on the left side was from our transportation station. Green was where people thought more stop signs should be. Blue is where they felt that there was poor road conditions. Yellow is where they believed more hard surfacing needed to be taken. Red was where they felt speeding was occurring too much. White is where people felt that different railroad crossing or signals needed to be placed. So that's the map on the left-hand side. The map on the right was our land use. People went around and just like on the transportation, they were able to put the pins where they felt that whatever type of condition was needed. On the right, they placed stickers on there, which the red represents the residential, where they felt residential should be, green, where parks and open space should be, blue, industrial, and red, commercial. So them are a little bit more self-explanatory than the pins if you don't have the key for what they're looking for. So that was just kind of a breakdown of what we did. So we will present this, and this information will go to our task force as well. And it is part of our public record that we will be looking at these and taking into consideration what their thoughts have been. So, so any questions from you guys?
What was the yellow dot for on that one?
The yellow hard surfacing.
Residential.
No,
Well,
yellow
I meant
on
the dot.
well, the dot. The dot was yellow was residential, and bigger dots. There was one individual where they thought they wanted to put them only where the cities in city limits. That's the only place where people should live, and of course they were there and they lived in that county. But yes, so that would be. They felt everything should be concentrated to city limits, but. I mean, that
I
was
love that one
how
comment. It said no more people.
and that maybe was the person that put that on there too.
Oh, that's so funny.
And special thanks to Bonnie, who actually came and worked on two of them for us. So we appreciate you doing that, Bonnie.
Well, I think all
And everybody else. Yeah.
and we had,
Yeah.
I think,
Everyone here came.
yeah. So you got to see it in action, and we appreciate that.
I'm disappointed there weren't more people there from Del Rapids, but you guys did a great job. It was very informative and certainly a good opportunity for public input.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think you might have been helped too. I think there was some activities going on in the West Central School that people were kind of, and then ended up, oh, what's this? And we'll stay here, so that worked out pretty good too.
Yeah, no, we did. That did probably just some more people that didn't really know exactly what was going on. They were to be able to be informed. Some individuals from Hartford. I know that one was a fairly good turnout. That the EDA, the gentleman that's on the EDA board over there, forwarded that on to a bunch of his people in kind of underneath them, so they were able to get noticed too. The only other thing I just would mention that we had our cleanup this last weekend on Saturday the 20th. We were there from 7 to 3. We seem to have a good turnout. I'm sure that the number of tons of material that we collected will be quite high, as we had a large area. We encompassed 4 townships, Benton, Wall Lake, Wayne, and Hartford. Yeah.
Are
So
you doing all of the townships or just the more highly populated ones?
the more highly populated ones right now, because it's hard to spend the money to have all of our contractors go up there for 100 people if it's Buffalo Township. But since this is our largest one that we've had, in the future maybe we'll be able to do 4 or 6 of them to make it worth their while to go up there to do this. So this was kind of a trial to try to find a middle common ground for everybody and to see how it would turn out.
That's a
And
good
we had
starting point.
very positive turnout at this event. So yeah, we were there. And I don't know if I'm guessing you guys knew previously that we were going to be there, but everything was good, and this will be, we'll have for sure one more this next spring before our grant funding runs out for this project. So. That's it.
Then I'm not sure if it's old or new business, but I handed out a press release for the appointment to the Planning Commission. Mike Cypher's term is up in December, I talked to Mike this morning, and he is going to reapply, he indicated, but it is going to be open to everyone. And so I handed that out in case you know of anyone that would like to apply, or the application deadline is the 1st of December, which will give us plenty of time to take to the county commission. And there's no meeting in December, so we should have someone appointed for our January meeting. And then the last thing, I apologize for the fact the door is not open. I mean, it was disturbing when the petitioner comes up and says, well, I couldn't get in the door, but I did go down, and every day of planning commission meets, or every Monday at the planning commission, I always go down and make sure the door is going to be open, because this has happened before and it's
What,
upsetting.
do they lock it right at 7? I was going to say, because we
It's
all come in right
it's
before 7.
computerized, and it was
Oh.
locked, and Dustin went down and taped it open. And it's possible that the janitor didn't, realize why, and
Took it off.
took the tape off by 7.
So,
Yeah, or the
because
tape
we don't
came off.
have we don't have like a key that you can unlock it. It's
Right.
all mechanical, and it's all computerized, and we don't. Our office doesn't have access to that program, so we have to put in a request, and it's ongoing, or just a standing fourth Monday. But I do go down because I'm always concerned that this happens, and so.
Yeah, because that could have potentially gone
I know
a much
it.
different
Yeah.
direction.
I know, and I thought, oh boy, they would have been angry if it got continued, and so it was a little nerve-wracking. Thanks for your understanding. Other
Is
than
there any other county commission items? I mean,
No.
wasn't,
the gun club it was last Tuesday, and it was appealed, and it was continued for another week in order for the sheriff to go out and review the conditions, and he prepared a report, and it's back on the agenda tomorrow. More than likely will be continued because the attorneys for the applicant, the gun club, have some conflict tomorrow, so they requested a continuation. But I mean, we just passed that on. It's up to the county commission tomorrow to decide if they want to continue it, or the problem that we run into is, you have people that are showing up, and so then it's, you're telling them, you can't tell them not to come, but then when they come and it's continued, it's discouraging for them too, so.
My guess is that it will be continued. The other bigger piece, frankly, is the captain who is going to do the gun club review, if you will, has now called in the DCI from Pier, and he's an expert in shooting ranges, and he can't get here right away. So between that and the attorney, and the other side is well aware of the fact that there's a significant chance, because I think Jeff Barth went out there today to meet with them to tell them that it was probably going to be deferred. So
Yeah, they did know.
my guess is that the crowd won't be too big this time.
well, it's good when they know ahead of time. I felt so bad, like if we were going to defer that item and we already knew people were here to discuss
Yeah.
it, and then you just defer it because the petitioner's not here, he has all the control.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have any control, I guess.
I
but
know.
Potentially he could have.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've had the occasion where someone's come down with the flu on the planning commission day, and
Well, and if they contact you and let you know,
Yeah.
that's one
Yeah.
thing too,
so whatever.
because things like that will happen.
Yeah.
All right, anything else we need to discuss? All right, then, I guess we'll adjourn.
All right.